Yes, so my name is Frank. I'm a Web3 researcher, developer, and I also contribute in the Web3 space. Um, so I'm also a base ambassador. Yeah, that's the hat I'll wear today. I have many hats, but today I'm a base ambassador. We are here with Chris and Shaumao. Maybe they'll introduce themselves when they're speaking. So the reason for this call, if you've seen the post in the group, there is an initiative going on called On-Chain Summer, and several groups or other places have been participating or rather have started their own stuff on-chain summer across the globe, Europe, kila mahali, yani Kisumu on-chain summer. So what on-chain summer is yeah, let's just read it directly from here so that we don't speak what's not going on. So this is basically on-chain summer. So you build something, you launch it, then you scale it, and also you earn. It's like I was giving an example. You are a developer, you have built an app and you're struggling to market it. So that's what on-chain summer will help you solve. And possibly you can turn your app into a startup, because there is some subsequent things happening after on-chain summer that I'll talk about. So on-chain summer is recognized the most impactful on-chain apps, even new apps built on the base ecosystem. So like you said, you guys are developers, so that is not a big deal. The documentations are very clear. So once you've built something or something that you've been working on, there's a way you can turn it into something called a mini app. Yesterday I was giving an example of M-Pesa application that usually has some smaller apps built within, not smaller apps but some other apps you can access within it. So if someone is within M-Pesa app, he can access how to book flights, how to access Mshwari, so many not weird, but so many things that you can do. But those, yeah, so it's the same concept, but now on the blockchain, on base or L2s. And so there is prizes to be won, of course. Am I even sharing my screen? I don't think so. I thought I was. I hope you can see my screen. Thought I was sharing my screen. Yeah, so there are prizes to be won and there are things to be built. Either live mini apps, consumer apps, new, or even other apps. So that's what Saturday's meetup is all about, and I wanted to take you through how to get started so that maybe by Saturday some of you shall have started or will have something already in mind, so that you can fast track whatever you're doing. Now, to get started building stuff on base, we don't want to start from grassroots like, I don't know, on blockchain or anything else. It's very straightforward. There's there's this thing called base documentation that Chris will largely talk about in a few minutes. This is your number one, should I call it, dictionary that you have to have. So over here you can just quickly skim and know what's going on. But again, during the hands-on session, people who have been reading it will make it easy and they're here on the call. Another thing that you need to have is called CDP, Coinbase Developer Platform. Coinbase Developer Platform that you will need to create. I am sharing the link, though I shared it on the group. I shared it also on the group. So I think Chris can take over, and Nelly and Chris, one of you can just introduce themselves. Then Chris will take over to the hands-on so that we take as
Yeah,
minimum
I guess
time
just
as
Nelly
possible.
can just do a quick intro of Miniapps before we get to the technical
Hands-on.
side of things.
Yeah, just few minutes, not too much time. Um, what am I looking at? I don't know if she's online. Stop sharing. Stop presenting. I think Nelly is not on the call. Chris, am I still? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you can. So I don't know if you people can see my screen. I guess not. So you just need two basic things. You need these documentations, and you need to open a Coinbase developer account. That's all. Um, this link is iko kwa group na pia iko tu hapa kwa chats bado. I don't know what. Okay. Yeah, but anybody can. Okay, Chris, you can just start so that we finish on time.
Okay, no problem. But
I'm recording.
even as you continue, you guys can continue hitting up your fellow builders to join in because majorly this session is going to be like taking you guys to how to get started or rather initiate your first mini kit project. And then now for Saturday, um, the session will be quite brief, like just be a short session on how now to probably now to index your app on Forecast and Builder. So this is actually a key session with regards to getting started with building. So you can continue.
I guess
Yeah,
you can share screen.
yeah, yeah.
I've stopped sharing.
Yeah, so ideally what happens is you have to at least have some brief knowledge about these three primary languages, which is HTML, CSS, and JS. And even as you go ahead and um, try to navigate your way through the documentation, you also have to understand how basically React works. And the reason as to why I'm suggesting at least you have some brief knowledge about HTML is because HTML is also a key component of React components. So for the layout bit of React pages or other React applications, even Next.js applications, there's a specific file called page.jsx, which is one of the code pages that is used to render your app. And then another code bit of any application is the layout.jsx. So the layout.jsx basically helps you to at least get to know how your app will look like and how your app will also behave. So for guys who are planning to change existing apps to mini apps, this is where you actually come in, and the main bit of things is the main bit of things is at least understanding how to initiate your project, and then From there, you get to also understand how to run these commands, which are going to be seen in a few. So right over here, I'm in cursor, which is my ID. So we'll go ahead and explore one of the projects which you can just like get started with building for this particular demo. So let's call it let's give it a name. Let's call it base frames. So I'm just creating a folder. I'll be sharing this one. So I'm just creating a folder within my computer, or rather my laptop, that I'm going to be now running the project all across and all through. And then after doing so, we'll be able to execute all these commands from there, just to now initiate our first minikit project, and then you guys can continue building on top of what we created. And so largely when it comes to creating a first project, you have to understand the kind of dependencies that you'll be installing, the various commands that you're going to be requiring for the project to successfully run. Let me get back to where we are. Okay, cool. So right over here, I'm currently on the directory base frames, and then probably just to get us back to the base documentation, I want to see if I can be able to share my two screens, but I don't think it's possible. Let me see. Yeah, so this is the base documentation, and we're going to be running this first command. So yesterday we defined what a mini app is, and basically we say a lightweight web application that runs inside Fakasta clients like Base App without needing to open a browser or download anything. So built using familiar tools like Next.js and Minikit, Miniapps behave just like normal apps, but launch instantly from posts, making them feel native to social appearance. And most of the times, you don't need to actually get to pay some, let's say, some fee for your app to be indexed, or rather for your app to go viral. The algorithm within BaseApp and Forecaster basically does that for you. And we're going to be now creating our first project using the minikit command. So get to the base documentation on this particular bit and docs, and then just follow along with me with each and everything that we'll be doing all across. So just copy that command. After copying it, run it inside VS Code, or rather your directory where you've decided your project will be. And now just to get back to the window where we had already opened of our project, or the directory where we are. So it's over here, and then I'm gonna paste this over into the terminal. Just paste that.
Duncan, umesahau umeturn on kamera, inafanya tunakuwa wadaku. Chris, unaweza nisikia?
Yeah.
Nilikuwa naambia Duncan kama anaweza turn off camera ndio isi drive attention kwa kichwa yake. Asante.
Yeah, so basically to run npx create hyphen onchain mini. There's a trailing error here. So just hit enter, and then you'll have it do the necessary installations. Okay, So it refills simply because there's some space between create and chain mini. Nice. There's an E that we left outside. So our project name is basically best friends. So you just name it over there as best friends, and then for the CDP API key, we can get this from Coinbase Developer Platform. If you already created an account yesterday with the links that we provided, then this should be easy now for you. So just log into your CDP account and then get to grab your CDP API keys from there. After that, come back to your terminal and then paste it. So I'm logging into mine right now. And I'm gonna pick okay. I'm gonna create one ASAP. Just call it okay. Let me also share this tab because probably some of us might not have created these accounts already. So let me present this screen as well, that you see how the process works. Yes, so now we are there. So CDP Coinbase Developer Platform actually is the home for all developer tools on Base with regards to things like API keys. And also, in addition to the base documentation, you also get a lot with regards to components and other libraries that you can utilize on your app just to make your app more based and more scalable as well. So let's call this base frames. And then onto some restrictions, you'll have to check these two up just in case you'll be wanting our app to be a DeFi application to have things like trading capabilities on chain, things like swapping, sending and receiving tokens, and all that. So just as you've seen, we already have our API keys already up. So what you need here is the secret key. We'll just come back and paste this over onto our terminal. So back to our window, our terminal, that is cursor where we were. So just get over here and then paste the API key. After it's pasted, it's automatically hashed, and then just press on enter and then hit yes for that. And then there you have already your project set up for you. And then I'll get to also explain these directories bit by bit, though probably now I'll not spend much time on this because we already past time kiasi. So now
Yeah,
that you already have,
let me
yes,
interrupt you kidogo, Chris. So whatever he has pasted there, it's very sensitive data. Never share with anyone, but this one is for demo purposes, so he will just delete it anyways. Yeah, you can go
yeah,
on.
so yeah, true. Yeah, I actually had it public because it's just for demoing, so just for the purpose of this session today. But you can always create new API keys. So never worry if you, for example, you expose the API key probably during a workshop or during when you're sharing like something about your project. You can always create new API keys for it and just continue building. So we're gonna be seeding into base frames right now. So seeding into base frames, and then we'll run npm install just to install our dependencies. Yeah, so we'll give it some time to continue with the installation. And then if you guys also have like X accounts, you can take screenshots of this session, post on X, talk about whatever you're building. Will be also willing to help you guys with engagement. And then also register on the Luma link if you still haven't registered on the Luma link for Saturday's meetup. And it will actually be a good session. So invite your friends who are builders as well, who are just curious about building. So maybe as that happens, we can go ahead and also explore more about these various directories that we have. So one, we have the app directory, which is basically the core of this application. Like this is where they all perform. And then we routes directory, which has got um, some specific variables, I can say. So you can just hit Control J and then hide terminal for some time as all that goes on. Um, so you can see we have all these dependencies listed over here. So we have npx create on-chain kit code with m, which we'll find in our .env file, already named as base friends. And then our API key is also automatically set up because of the command that we did before. So with time you'll get to fill all these sections. I think for this particular bit, I'll be able to tell you guys more about it during the Saturday session. Let's call it public.xyz. This the next public URL is like the domain of your app. Forecaster payload head and signature. These are confidential API keys from Forecaster. So you only get to generate them when you sign the wallet connection with your Forecaster client wallet. And then optional frame metadata, like next public app subtitle, what's the subtitle for your app. If it's friends on base, just friends on base this way, then that's fine. And next public app description, let's say friends, let's just say friends to get everyone on base. And then public next public app primary category, which is the category of your app. If it's finance, if it's art, if it's music, all that is actually allowed. And then next public app tagline. So probably this is something short. Let's say friends for everyone.
So, but that's the question.
Yeah, yeah,
So, like, what's the limitation to the apps you can build? Like, the kind of apps you can build. Treat it like using several categories. You have these finance and all. Like, is there like something that you can, anything you can think?
yeah. Like you can always ship any kind of application. Let's say you want to build an Uber application or a Bolt application, but one that depends on blockchain technology. Then you can always ship a Miniapp for that. So you can go ahead and even ship something to do with art. If it's just an app like Spotify, but now you want it to be on chain that people can probably gain tokens. The more they listen to your songs, they can mint songs on chain and get rewarded for that. You can also build DeFi applications. Like for example, if you tuned in yesterday, we talked briefly about Minisem, which is an off-ramp mini app that is built on Base actually. So it allows you to off-ramp the USDC on Base to local fiat, and that is basically it allows you to withdraw in in simple terms. So you can withdraw USDC to Kenyan shilling or Nigerian naira. So if you're being like paid on chain by a client, or if you're earning from your creator skills, just you're a builder and Base is rewarding you weekly, monthly, or even just earn some grants from Base, you can easily use Minisend to do that. So you can build DeFi applications, social applications, entertainment, name them. So we don't have actually like a specific group of apps that you can't build on top of. And then with the best documentation, there's Minikit provider, which allows you to also convert existing apps to mini apps. So kama umekuwa build even before this session, we have an app that's already set up. I'll get to show you guys on Saturday how to easily just scaffold that to a mini app on Fakasta. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so our dependencies are still coming in because most of them are quite heavy. So maybe just to finish up with the TNV setup and OG description is still sort of like a tagline, but you can just name it something like Fakasa frame, Fakasa frames on base here, Chillworks. And now for the webhook route host.ts. Yeah, so another thing is we realized we are using TypeScript for this particular project. So most of the times I prefer building using TypeScript because it's very much easy to scaffold projects with, and then it's also strict with matters building. So it's very rare that you ship an app that is having lots of errors, or that is having lots of ESLint errors. So it makes sure that that you ship quality apps, and also you just don't get to build me applications. You just build standardized apps that are scalable, and users get a good experience with interacting with it. And now back to the webbook route.ts. So this basically means this is a route that relies on a webhook. So webhooks normally helps with regards to sending events from the server side to the client side. So if you check this block of code keenly, you can see we are handling some notifications from a library, which I'll also be able to mention it credits, and import send from a notification for same library. So we have a library folder that has got all this already configured and set up. So this is the advantage, or rather the advantage that comes with shipping your app using minikit. So if this was to be Fakasta SDK, then it could have been a little bit different. And all this, you could have had coded all of this like from scratch. Yeah, so back to what you have here. This is a webhook block of code that basically helps in terms of giving user feedback, and you as well as a developer, that your users are utilizing your app. And if you can check this keenly, we have welcome. Let me just start from line number 12. So here we have got a set of parameters and also a bit of frames. So once the user gets to your frame, or rather your mini app on Fakasta, so let's just how Fakasta looks like, so that when I explain this, you're able to relate what's happening. Yeah, cool. So the same way you can see how Fakasta by default looks like. If, for example, I want to launch Minisend, like right now, I've launched Minisend. You can see, I'm able to see all these events that are happening. There's a connect wallet button there that's loading up. And there's an option over here to switch wallet, turn off notifications. So basically, this is where we are. So webhooks help us to also send notifications to the front end, or rather to the client side. So that's why we have all these configurations up. That is where ideally we have case notifications enabled, and just in case also the user feels like turning this off, they can also do that from this point. So when we get back to our code, we'll also get to understand why webhooks are important, and how this demo component also gets to highlight more about what we have on the UI side of things. So I'll just close this up, but we'll get to also get back to it like in a short while. Huh. So back to our code base frames. Nice. Let's get this. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So we've seen how. Let me see if I. Okay, the dependencies are up already, and all of them have been installed on our project. So we have a components folder. So basically, with React has got a way in which it helps you as a developer to ship faster. So one of the ways that happens, or rather, one of the ways that it helps you achieve that is through components. So components are basically reusable blocks of code that you can always use within your app or rather your application. So, for example, for this particular setup, we have a component called demo components. So these demo components, basically it carries everything that we'll be seeing on the UI side of things once we get to run our application with npm run dev. So another thing is you can always use various, how do you call it? We have various libraries. We have libraries, and also we have package managers. So you can use yarn, you can use npm, you can use pnpm as well. So unaweza tumia hizo tatu zote to do these installations that we've just done. But I always go for yarn, but now with regards to this project, we used npm just as per the docs. So we'll close that up and go ahead and now try to get to know what this component is all about. So let's start from line 1. This block of code as a use client. That means it's supposed to be rendered on the client, not on the server side of things. And then import React node use callback is memo usage. Basically, these are React hooks. What it talks about and why it's important. And for React nodes, this helps you to interact with your environment variables. So let's say, let me just go back. There's this point where you call env. It's this particular section, which is not well known. Yeah. So for example, for you to use your environment variables from the environment file, you'll have to install React nodes, so that when you say name, when you try to declare the name variable and try to use the name that you declared on the env file, you'll just say name process.env next public onchainkit project name. So what is rendered on the server side to ensure that you have been configured correctly is the onchainkit project name, and this is what CDP uses to check your project. So kama hii ndio ulikuwa umesema before, it checks that in the CDP API key and then checks whether that's the correct API key, and then your app is good to go. Cool. So checking on the demo component, Um, I'll just highlight like a few things because most of them are redundant. So over this particular bit, or rather this particular block of code, we are importing Coinbase on ChainKit slash transaction, which is basically just a library from OnChainKit. These are transaction components that helps you as the developer to make sure your users are having a good experience with your app. So OnChainKit inasaidianga mambo na wallet connections on the UI side. So if you go to Minicent, utapata nimetumia OnChainKit sana. So OnChainKit, you can use it even for wallet connections, you can use it for swapping, you can use it for bridging, you can use it for wallet connections with regards to smart wallets. Um, you can also import use notification from this particular library, which is on ChainKit slash minikit. So another thing is you guys should be able to understand that minikit and on ChainKit are very, very much correlated. They share a lot of things together. So when it comes to building your app and making sure it's configured correctly, you can I highly advise that you use minikit for this. So unaona ukitumia minikit you get the two things at once. But if you go the manual way, you'll have to configure all this from scratch, and which will actually consume much time. And the goal is to also always ship faster and get distribution. So for these lines of code, these are just return functions for things that are happening on the UI. If you come and tell you in CSS, unaona sasa tunatumia per class name. If you've interacted with CSS, the primary CSS that we always use kama hii CSS kama hizi for HTML and CSS, it's just the same thing but now with Tailwind CSS, it's quite much straightforward and it's easy to use. And then over here now we have various things. This is why I was mentioning that at least ukuwe umejua HTML kidogo, CSS, so that you at least can understand how the code base works and what the code base is talking about. So kuna dark mode support, OnChainKit integration. These are just now wordings. You can always change this to what you want and always build on top of these as well. So the layouts, these are now the core. I'll be able to like touch the remaining like 3 bits. So just the core parts of this code base. We have around 5 minutes more. So this is the layout file. This layout file helps you to make sure your app has been configured correctly to use minikit provider. So onto our providers file. So, yeah, okay. Providers.tsx. So here, providers.tsx, you can see we're importing this client, or rather declaring this as this client, and then as we do this, we're also importing base from WAGMI. So WAGMI is also a very, very key library with regards to shipping blockchain applications. So it helps to interact with the blockchain. Import minikit provider. We are of course importing this from the minikit library, and then this is now where we get to declare how minikit provider is going to like affect our application looks like. So for minikit provider to work, of course, we must declare our process API V, which contains our API key or ChainKit API key, which I'll also be able to share how to get that. The chain is of course base, and the chain ID is normally 8453. Okay. Yeah, you can be able to confirm that if I'm wrong. Config is the config parameter basically helps you to configure how your app is gonna be looking like. So appearance itakuwa mode, itakuwa auto. So depending on how the frame will look like, so it will be able to buy the primary color, or rather just grab or acquire the primary color that the frame will be having at that time. Then theme is Miniapp theme, so this can always be changed. The logo is it to declare for the change users. So it will just be importing what you say, rather what you declared. Yeah, so that is the providers file, and then we have the props, the children, which is basically uh, the body, the body of our layout file. So over back to a layout file hapa hivi, utaona in the main return function here we have an HTML block of code again. So HTML lang n, which is basically in a seminar. It normally tells the TypeScript compiler of the version of TS that you're using, the version of TypeScript that you're using as well. And if you go back to the primary HTML declaration techniques, which are dual things to do with things like, let's say, if you were to be having a title over here, on the title, and then we say minikits, setup, minikit setup. You can see there's actually no error with regards to that because we'd still be building on top of HTML. So most of the times you can always just build stuff within this particular block of code and then just continuous minikit setup for base frames. So that's a paragraph. If you were to be running this, you could have seen how this looks like. Minikit base frames setup. So just as a paragraph. But now with regards to what you currently want to know is this particular bit of things. So let me just undo that so that we get to see. If I could zoom in properly, then just close this. Cool. I think it's now much more visible. So this particular block of code is where the whole thing now changes. So this influences how your app is gonna be. So you get to wrap the providers the TSX file with your children. So the children in this bit is the body of your app. And then, of course, we had already imported the providers.tsx file, which are the minikit provider. So after to main import query file, we get to wrap it up with the application, and then that's it. We already have our mini app, or rather our app transformed to a mini app. Just that simple, with only one line of code. The library directory imebeba mambo na notifications, which there's a library that handles this properly, which is Redis. You can see Redis is over here, so the Redis URL and Redis token environment variables are not defined. So it's telling us to go ahead and add all this so that we get to receive webhooks events on our front end. For the public directory is in images, how our app is going to be using images, so things like this, things like that, splash image, something like that now. Yeah, so going ahead, probably we can touch on for page.tsx. This is now where the large bit of most on-chain kit components are being utilized, which are like use minikit, use add frame, use open URL. So let me show you guys where to get this within the documentation, and then we'll just wrap it up from there. That is, let me also run this primarily as we do that in bundle so that it compiles to Godget. That's nice. So we'll go ahead and present this from the docs. And so hapa hivi nawashow hizo hooks venye mtazitoa and how you can go through the code base that we have currently na muone venye zinatumika so that it becomes much easier if now we get to the technical reference and then hooks. Then you can see all the hooks have been listed here. We have this minikit defined in at Coinbase /onchainkit. So everything is actually listed over here and how you can go ahead and utilize them properly. Let me copy this, then share it with you guys in the chat. There it is. So mtangalia hapo hooks, then zinatumika and all that. And then our app is already set up too. It's already compiled. So let's get to see how it looks. Meanwhile, is there any question?
I don't think there are any questions. Well, today's call is very in-depth. It's similar to what we'll be still doing on Saturday, right?
Yeah, iko in depth actually. Basically tumefanya setup ya project, and then wanaweza build on top of the project sasa. Rather, they can now go to the docs, then just follow these steps, and then by Saturday inapata kama already wameweza kubuild stuff, so we don't have to repeat ourselves again.
Yeah, and I'll upload this video. It will be low quality, but at least it will guide you on YouTube. Then I'll share the link, then you can just follow along on maybe 2x speed or 0.5 speed, depending on your speed, so that on Saturday we can have now fun creating apps with already predetermined knowledge, so that we don't waste too much time setting up everything. Eh? Oh, jana hatukufanya hands on, we were just talking, then we also gave examples of possible examples of apps you can create, so you didn't miss out too much yesterday. So
ideally,
okay, you can go on.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you guys when application in Akka. So this is the basic minikit template that is offered by Bez, and it comes with a connect wallet button that you can always use to connect guys, or rather onboard guys to your application. So inatumia hapa hivi on kit, and you don't have to worry about things to do with wallet connection. People can even transact. You can see it's able to prompt me to connect my wallet up and even sign a transaction. So you can see it's even requesting for some network fee, network payment method, signing. You can see the cost is $0. So things like this are able to happen because of minikit. So always try and use minikit within your project, and basically you can follow along this recording that we've done today, and we'll be able to get your app already up and running. So I think largely that's all, because we are already 3 minutes past time, and I think we can wrap it up from there.
Yeah, maybe we can wrap it up with a quick 3 minutes ideas. Chris, are you able to access the ideas, the spreadsheet with the ideas? Because I'm recording, if I start moving about it might destroy the part of the screen I'm recording. So can you just share it, then I talk about it for just 2 minutes, and then we can end the call.
So okay, let me check my email.
Yeah, just hold on a few minutes so that Yeah, so as is sharing, maybe I don't know if I can get some off my head. I'll start with minisend. So minisend is like a mini, sijui watu wangapi wametumia Binance ama other off-ramping sites. So minisend simplifies that. If kama let's say create app kwa hii onchainsummer and you've won your thousands of dollars, but you want to spend your money maybe for simple things like paying for the Uber ama kubai mshikaki, I don't know, along the road, and you still have USDC, you can quickly go to your minisend and just spend it. Maybe kuna mtu jana alisema yeye ni graphic designer, so maybe he has built a photo collage, sijui kama nimesema vizuri, app yenye ina display maybe some of his graphics zenye ame create, where someone can just scroll and see his works. He can convert it into a mini app, alafu yeah, so everyone on the base app will be able to access all his graphics design artworks because now it's available for the whole world. Yeah, acha saa tusome zenye zimefanyiwa research. Hiyo ni yenye imekuja tu kwa akili yangu. Pia mkiwa na zingine mnaweza chat ama unaweza unmute uulize. Now we have like 2 minutes, so let's start with content. Maybe you're a content creator, so you can build an AI generated, okay, so creative content at market opportunity. Oh, these ones are the ones that are already existing, the first few ones. You can maybe check them out to get some inspiration. I think I'll talk about Dracula because I know it. Dracula, it's a video content app where people share their videos. Ni kama vile TikTok yani, but sasa on chain. So you can convert it into a mini app so that all of it you can access it within your base wallet. Bankless Academy, nice. Sikujua kuna Bankless mini app. So ni ya crypto education. Hiyo imenipea idea because I also have a website for blockchain academy, crypto, and how to. It's called Do Your Own Research podcast show. So that one also, there is a mini app for that. Okay, so now to the financial services. Kitu kama maybe crowdfunding, maybe unatengeneza application yenye watu wanachanga pesa. Maybe you have a small circle in your developer clubs. Every Friday mnatoa donations, so you can build it into a mini app so that you can just access it within your app. Crypto to fiat hiyo tushaongelea hiyo. Minisend tayari in production. On chain payroll, you can build you can build a dashboard that pays staff. Hizi ni vitu za web2 tu, like you see vitu kama hizi ziko built on web2, so you can convert it to a mini app and just enable payments in crypto, and that's all. Now you have fully functional web3 app. You apply for the 240,000 US dollars. Who knows, you might win something. Tipping and donation. So buy me a coffee crypto version, like a website that you can just tip someone. I don't know what runs through the minds of people. Maybe I'll use the graphic designer example again. Maybe his graphic designs are so nice and he feels like maybe his followers always ask him for a tipping. Hey, where can we tip you because of your nice work? So you can build a tipping kind of mini app that your followers can be tipping you. I was trying to build that on another blockchain, but it was too hard. Maybe I'll try it on mini apps too. Web3 and social platforms, that one is already built, like, yeah, maybe Fakasta inside the wallet. So gifting cards, that one we talked about. Another interesting one is exercise tracking, track exercise and reward tokens like Strava. Sijui kama mmewahi tumia ingine inaitwaje, Sweatcoin, hizo. So ni apps ambazo zina kureward according to your physical activity, so you can convert it into a mini app tayari kwenda ndani ya Coinbase wallet. So maybe ukikimbia ina kutip some things, and when you want to access it you have to, I think, maybe go to the website ama go to the app store, but if you build it within the mini app you can just quickly access it. Yeah, I think, I don't know if maybe it has sparked some curiosity in most of us here. So with that in mind, today you can think about something that you can work on. Then on Friday you can rewatch this video, then you start scaffolding the boilerplate like venye Chris ametushow, and then you start tinkering with the idea. Then sasa Saturday tukija, we can work on it hands-on and also help each other to finesse. Is finesse allowed? Yes, to finesse your apps, so that, I mean, we can also take part in on-chain summer. Mimi mwenyewe sijaanza yangu. I'll also be very keen on Saturday. So I think, okay, there's one, the number one, lending and borrowing. If you are too much into finance, Chris ametengeneza ya ku spend. You can also build another one ya kuborrow watu ama kulend. You can also build another service ya watu wanataka kuchanga pesa yao. So it depends on creativity, or maybe something that has been bugging you and you want to build your own solution. I guess that's all from me and Chris. Xiaomao, are you online? Yeah, I forgot. You can also join we actually have Telegram channel. Chris has shared it. You can also join in there. There are usually two. One is for developers, another one is general. So you can join whichever you want, and let's keep building on Base and on the blockchain. Unless any of you has a question or a comment, I may stop the recording and then we can rest. If you have something, you can unmute or just chat, then I'll read it. Okay, no one has question. Xiaomao is probably sleeping. So see you on Saturday. Westerlies, niliona iko Mwembe tayari. Maybe if we finish early tunaweza enda kwa beach, siko sure. Okay, see you on Saturday. Bye everyone. Let me upload this recording right now.